Why your ex often comes back when you let them go. This is Coach Lee, and I'm going to talk to you about, even though it sounds counterintuitive, how letting them go can often result in them coming right back. Number one, letting them go stops pressure. A lot of times they associate you with pressure. They don't want to be around you because they think it will turn into you trying to get them to come back, trying to talk them into getting back together. And so they will avoid you. Once they start to see that you can handle this, that you can stay away from them, that you're not putting that pressure on them, that you seem to just be handling it well and letting them go, it opens up the idea that they can interact with you. And if there's no hard feelings, there's not a lot of resentment, that can be very attractive to them, especially in moments of weakness. Because if you two had a good thing, it's impossible to think that they're not going to ever miss you or just be lonely and think of times when they were with you. It allows them the possibility to indulge, which is a good thing because that's when you actually can have the opportunity to reattract them by showing grace, by showing strength, by showing dignity. But as I've mentioned in other videos, and I'll re-mention it because I don't know if you've seen that video of mine or not, but if you don't continue to push and pressure them, they don't continue to raise their defenses. And when their defenses lower, that's when they can kind of peek over the fence. They can reconsider. They can even change their mind simply because you're not doing what they thought you would do. And if they're wrong about that, maybe they're wrong about other things. It's amazing how your mind can be that way. So trust that and show them that you're not going to pressure them anymore. After you've tried to talk them out of it one time, usually my rule is back off and leave them alone. Let them come to you. And after thousands of coaching sessions, I can tell you that works a good amount of the time. Nothing works 100%. Nothing even works in the majority of cases. In this situation, when you're dealing with human emotions, human breakups, immature people, and the world of today. But it does work in enough cases that I'm confident in telling you it's the right way to go. Number two, whenever you break a pattern, you install mystery because it's not what they expected you to do. And mystery creates preoccupation. A lot of times it's not that they're even interested in that moment of getting back together. They're just trying to figure out what's going on with you. That brings them into the stage of curiosity that I talk about in my video, Stages Your Ex Goes Through After a Breakup. And curiosity is very important because curiosity is a precursor to attraction. When you're curious about someone, you start thinking about them. They're on your mind and you want to figure them out. And they become more valuable because they're not as simply understood as other people. It can begin to move into the territory of fascination, which you are right at the precipice of attraction at that point. So trust that. Break the pattern. If in the relationship, when they would pull away, you would chase, or if they just think that you would chase because they're just so dang attractive, use their ego against them. Show them that you're not going to follow suit because it can definitely make them think that they might be wrong about other things if they were wrong about this. Maybe they were wrong about the relationship and the breakup. Maybe they should give it another chance. It opens their mind the possibility that they were wrong and that you are different. Maybe you can change. Maybe you're not as easily predictable as they thought, which means if they thought you couldn't change, well, maybe he can change. Maybe she can change. If you show them they're wrong about you in one instance, they will be open to the idea they were wrong about you in another. Before I get to number three, get more information on my emergency breakup kit. You can do that at myexbackcoach.com/EBK if you want your ex back. That's /EBK for emergency breakup kit. For men, I have my new course, Masculine Destiny, which helps you understand women and be more successful with women and with life. It's masculinedestiny.com for that course if you want to attract or reattract the love of your life as a man. Women, I am working on a course for you. It will take some time, but it's in progress. And if you want to book a coaching session with me, a private session, you can do that at that website as well, myexbackcoach.com, myexbackcoach.com, and just click on coaching, and you can book a session with me or a coach on my staff. Thank you for your support and for listening to my commercial. Number three, narrative dissonance. We all want to have a story and we all want to get the story right. And so when your ex breaks up with you, a lot of times they start to develop the story they will tell to other people, especially if you have any kind of social circles in common or family, people who know about the relationship and know you closely and maybe know the two of you. And now your ex is going to explain it to that person. And they come up with the story in their head about how things have gone. If it doesn't go according to plan, if they can't tell them that you begged and pleaded and you're really hurting and you really want them back, even though at first they may think they just want an easy breakup. They just want to be able to tell you that they're working on themselves or they're at a difficult place right now or it's just so complicated. You know, those BS excuses they say just because they think that you can't argue with it because it's just so sacred. It's deep inside of me. I've just got to work on myself. They think that they want you to just say, oh, I understand. Of course, if you need to work on yourself, there's no way that you could possibly do that if we were together, which is ridiculous. But they think they want an easy breakup. And then you give them an easy breakup and they walk away from it. And it's like, wait a minute, am I that easy to let go? Was it that easy for them for me to dump them? Why are they not begging and chasing? Am I not as good looking as I thought I was? Am I not as sexy as I thought I was? Why is this so easy for them? That's not the story they want to tell anybody. And sure, could they lie about it? Could they say that you were just desperate and you're really hurting and, oh, I just feel so guilty for how bad I hurt them, but, got to work on myself. All that nonsense. They want to be able to tell their friends, and some people want to be able to cry with their friends and actually get sympathy for breaking up with you. Don't get me started on that, but they want to be able to do that and have a good story. And when you take the story away from them, that's why it's called narrative dissonance. It's not what they thought would happen. They don't like that they have to lie about it. It actually makes them more insecure. And if they're a good person, and maybe they don't lie about it, and they tell their friends, or their close friend or whatever, and the person says, oh, so he's okay with it. I mean, he's not trying to get you back or chasing. Oh, okay. You kind of know how that makes them feel. They want to brag about practically having a stalker, but instead they're having to admit that you just were okay with it, which is not good on the old ego. Let them feel that. Let them suffer a little bit. And I'm just talking about ego suffering. I'm obviously not wishing suffering on them, but let them have that negative consequence of not getting the story right, of not having a good story to tell, because nobody wants to say, yeah, I dumped them and I don't know, they were just okay with it. That's humiliating. Give them that. Give them the gift of narrative dissonance. Number 4, when you let go, it turns a backup plan into a risk, because a lot of times when people leave you, they're very convinced that you will take them back. And that is a stable ground underneath them for them to continue with the breakup, to do whatever they want, to date. They don't feel that it's going to ruin their chances with you because they feel that they could get you back no matter what, that you would take them back no matter what they do. Even if they start dating other people and doing all these things, you're still going to be right there. But when you seem to let them go, you're not chasing, you're not fighting, you're not trying to convince them to take you back, you're not making that case or writing them letters telling them how you've changed in 4 days, they no longer can feel that you are a safe backup plan. Now, they don't feel they have a backup plan. And that's something you should never be. Do not be someone's backup plan. It's not a good look. It is not flattering for you. It will not reattract them. As a matter of fact, it will repulse them further. Number 5, fear of replacement. Stick with me on this if you've heard me explain this before. If they view you as unattractive, which if you can imagine someone begging and pleading when you're trying to break up with them, it is something you want to get away from. You don't view them as attractive. You view them as the opposite, that you want to get away from them. They're not pulling you toward them by begging and pleading and continually contacting to the point that it becomes a nuisance. That just makes you want to get away from them. And it makes you view them as unattractive. So the person who breaks up with someone views that person as somewhat less attractive just because of the whole process. Dumping someone and knowing they want to be with you makes you view them as less attractive. That's just kind of a fact of life. And so they don't really have any kind of fear of replacement because since they view you as less attractive, they don't think you could replace them with someone better or anyone for that matter. They just Don't think about it because of that state that happens after the breakup where they view you as less attractive. In some ways, it's a fantasy land because unless you're committed to a life of celibacy, you are going to move on. You're going to find somebody else eventually. But they're not thinking about it that way right now. They kind of view you as perpetually single because how in the world could you be with anyone else? You want them so badly, right? But when you push back against that narrative and they start to view you as more attractive than they thought you were, you go up on that ladder in their mind. Now they think he could get somebody else. She could get somebody else. They could replace me. Maybe they could even be happier. And then what if I change my mind? What if I'm in a place where I don't want the breakup anymore and I want them back? Because nobody's 100% certain at a breakup. Usually it's just mostly sure, 70% sure, 80% sure. There's some doubt. And so they like the idea of knowing in that rare instance where they're wrong, you would still be there. But what if they now realize there's a danger that you won't be there? It makes that doubt matter more. They have to consider it more. And now instead of just thinking they're running away to joy and freedom, they're wondering if they gave up something that brought them love and joy and togetherness and all those wonderful things that a relationship brings. Now a magnifying glass is on the doubts because the consequences matter more. The stakes are higher. So remember to get my emergency breakup kit at myexpatcoach.com/EBK as an emergency breakup kit. For men, if you want to have more success with women, attract a great woman, or reunite and get back together with a woman, masculinedestiny.com is my new course, Masculine Destiny. You can also book a private session with me, and we can put a plan together to get your ex back. You can do that at myexpatcoach.com. This has been Coach Lee, and as always, thank you for watching.